Hi guys, wanted to show you some things about my new harmonograph that I just finished recently and kind of explain how it works. Um, so I learned about these things when I was doing some research for a history of math class about a year and a half ago, and so I was like, I thought that'd be a neat thing to build. So I started a while ago and just kind of got it started and then left it unfinished for a long time, and then over Christmas break here decided to finish it. So and it's not completely finished. There's still some things I'd like to do to refine it a bit. But anyway, so it has a base stand there that's a 6x6 that then supports this platform. And on the platform there are three large holes for these pendulum arms to go through. And so those holes are at right angles and kind of nicely spaced on the platform. And then two of the pendulums, so the two in your screen right now, are one directional. So what I mean by that is these screws sit down into two little holes that I've drilled, or not holes, but little depressions I've drilled in the metal. And so this pendulum can oscillate only in one direction, so it's restricted in that way. Okay. And then it has an effect on the arm up there, and its inertia is built by that mass down there at the bottom. Okay. This third linkage here is omnidirectional, so it's able to move in that same direction, but also in 90 degrees and in any direction in between. So it is able, so that washer is suspended on two screws, and then the pendulum arm itself is suspended on two screws at right angles. So this is an omnidirectional gimbal, I think it's called. Okay, so I got the rough idea for that by looking at what someone else had done online. So this one is omnidirectional, and these other two are one directional. Okay, so up on top of that, then there are these linkages up above. So on this omnidirectional arm sits a platform. Okay, it's just a wood platform about the size of a piece of paper sitting on top of that, and that moves as that omnidirectional pendulum moves. But then there are these two linkages that connect to the others. These are connected by magnets. Okay, spherical magnets glued in and connected there. And then here in the middle there are two pairs of spherical magnets that sort of hold things in place, and that admits lots of nice motion. So this thing is quite flexible, very little friction, which is what you want, so that you get nice free motion all the way around. So I trimmed down these linkages on my table saw sort of crudely to get the weights as low as possible. That diminishes the friction between the tip of the pen and the paper that you're drawing on, and allows the oscillations to go on longer. That's the primary source of friction, is here at the pen on the paper. And actually that friction is not altogether a bad thing, because what it does is allows these three pendulums, this by the way is called a spherical pendulum mathematically, these are just simple pendulums, but the friction between the pen and the paper allows the pendulums to exchange energy as they go. So what you'll see in some patterns as you're drawing them, you'll see one of the pendulums stop moving completely for a little while, and then later on, without any external energy being put into the system, start moving again, which is really cool. So there's energy exchange between the pendulums as a consequence of the friction between the pen and the paper there. So I've got the pendulum right now tuned to draw this pattern that you see on top. So sort of a 5-pointed star, and I've got it almost perfectly tuned. I call it tuned, which I think is not an unfair use of the word. But I've got it tuned to draw this pattern. So it has to do with the relationship between the pendulum, the rates of swing of the 3 pendulums. That's what I call tuning this thing. And so as you adjust the height of the mass on each pendulum, you get different rates of swing. So the period of a simple pendulum, at least, is proportional to the square root of the length of the arm there. So there's a relatively simple math relationship, and when you combine these 3 pendulums, you get very interesting patterns. So let me show you a couple of them here. So these are ones that I've drawn. Now all the drawings in this stack came from the same settings on the 3 pendulums. I have this little notation here for that. The same settings, though, the same positions of the masses on the pendulums. The only thing that changed was the way that I started this thing up. So when you start it up, you take the lid off the pen, start this pendulum going in some way, and then start the other 2 going in some other way, and then let it trace out and see what it does. Okay, so all of these drawings in this stack had the same initial settings with respect to the pendulums, but I started moving the things in different ways. So here's some of the variety that you get. Let's go through these kind of quickly. So I've burned through about 4 or 5 pens already. 1 pen will last about no more than 20 drawings. Oh, this one, okay, this one is one exception. This one had different settings. I should set that one aside. But all the rest of these began with the same setting. You get some very interesting pictures. Cool. Angela's picked a favorite. I don't remember which one it was. But again, all of these came from the same settings. So I've done very little by way of, I think that was Angela's favorite, actually, right there. So I've done very little changing around the settings. I just got this thing set up recently. The only real modification I've gone is to try to get some kind of a star to come out, and I've been able to do that with the current settings. Here, 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 and you start to see some similarities and develop a sense for how starting the thing rocking will affect the pattern that results. Okay, at any rate, I think that's about it. Maybe in a later video I'll show the thing actually working and drawing out a pattern. But for now, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.